It's Indiana and the Philadelphia 76ers. 2K Sports is proud to present NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan, and here with me tonight, Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. And the Pacers start off with the ball. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. On the court for Indiana, George Hill out there with Ellis. Then it's Turner. Then it's Paul George. And it's Allen in at the power forward position. Everyone knows about the Paul George injury from last year and how it affected the Pacers. He said almost the entire season, and there was no doubt they missed it.
Yeah, and when George came back, Kevin, the Pacers got hot, but they had to put him on a minutes limit. And it wasn't just George, though. The team as a whole had a lot of injuries during the course of the season. And the defense just gets caught standing around that time and giving up the second chance opportunity.
You know, that just can't happen. They need much more effort than that on the glass.
Now here's Ellis. Outside Hill. There's the three. Rebounded by Covington.
And, you know, as you said, the Pacers did have problems with injuries. The team roster missed 219 games due to injury. So compare that to the 69 games missed by the Pacers in 2014. Big difference.
Hill with it. Here's the screen. Ellis outside.
And really, guys, the most telling part of the Pacers' injury troubles was this. Had to use 15 different starting lineups over the course of the season. Just hard to stay consistent and competitive when you are always replacing an injured player in the lineup. Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
I want you to focus on getting to the rim. Let's look to attack quickly. We need high percentage shots. Move the ball around and make the defense rotate.
You just got to figure out a way to stay productive.
And the best way to do that when you're missing shots is to get to the foul line. Be aggressive, get to the foul line, and knock down some of those freebies, and the tide can turn for you.
Yeah, you can see they gave him a lot of points here in this run, and he just wants to break the momentum before this thing gets out of hand.
And, you know, that's a huge part of a coach's job, making sure you keep your guys in the best position possible at all times. So I like this timeout.
Now here is Hill. Feeds it to George. Ball's knocked loose and stolen by Noel. And now the 76ers on the break. And it's sent back by George. Thompson with the bucket.
Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
And getting to the 10 has been the key. They're getting point-blank looks time and time again.
Hill passes to George. Outside Hill. Shot to stop the run, and that's going to be a travel.
And guys, the Spurs coaching tree extends pretty far these days. Coach Brett Brown, another former member of the Spurs staff, to be leading an NBA team.
For Philadelphia, they've gone 4 of 7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Okafor kicks to Roten. Back to Okafor, and that one's good. Okafor's got his second basket of the game. Well, Greg, for Brett Brown and the Spurs connection, he was an assistant in San Antonio for 7 years, was really indoctrinated in how the Spurs conducted business, Clark, before coming to the 76ers.
Yeah, he's got an interesting accent, too, a mix of Boston Australian from where he grew up and where he spent a lot of time, but no doubting his passion and his coaching ability. He's good in both.
He was actually a head coach for Australia for a while in international play. Here's Roten. following the score by Miles Turner. Moves back up, and Okafor with the layup. Okafor's got 6 points.
I tell you what, they've struggled shooting the basketball on this run, but they're getting a lot of second chance points to make up for it.
Yeah, and you know, you don't need to hit all your shots when you can rebound the way they have. And loving the hustle here early. I mean, they struck first on the offensive glass.
And those putback baskets contributing to their lead, Greg.
Philadelphia started to create a little bit of an identity last season after all their transactions, Clark, and shifting around. They settled down and came together.
Yeah, and I tell you, it looks like the identity will be the Sixers being a defensive team going forward. Offense, as it fits and starts, but defensively, they found some traction.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
As you said, the 76ers will be a team built on defense going forward. At least that's what it seems like to me. They have very active hands and can bother a lot of shots. They also force a ton of turnovers as well.
The 76ers making a change here. Stauskas is checked in. Mahinmi's checked in for Indiana. Pacers trail by 10.
And, you know, guys, the Sixers did force a lot of turnovers, but they also gave the ball away the most in the NBA, so kind of negated the turnovers they forced. They can be as defensive as they want, but they've got to get better at taking care of the ball if they're going to improve.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. Last season, the first season of action for Nerlens Noel, officially a rookie after sitting out the 2014 season. He looked good, and he got better as the season was going on.
A great point. I think that year off really helped him grow as a player. Coming into the draft when he came out, he was a guy who I thought had one of the most unbelievable motors I had ever seen. And you know what? Everything he was hyped up to be, he lived up to on the defensive end.
Here's what Philadelphia is going with right now. Joel Embiid. He's checked in for Okafor, and it's Jackson in for Robert Covington. And he's good on the second.
And for Noel, I really think he took off in the back half of the season. Up to scoring, his shooting percentage, and his rebounding. You could see him getting better almost every game.
Now, here is Hill. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. On the wing, Ellis for three. And good on the basket. Book it.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him. And by the end of the season last year, Noel was completely different as a player. Always a defensive force in the league. His development is probably going faster than many expected.
Now, here's Roten. The second chance effort, and it's Stauskas with the bucket inside.
It's taken them no time to build this lead up. Great first quarter offensively.
But no time to relax here. They've got to keep the pressure on with the defense, and I think they've got to try to put this one away early.
It's stolen by Stauskas. Jackson misses.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
1:15 left to play in the first quarter. Miles dishes to Mahinmi. Ellis outside. Lets it go from the wing. That one's rebounded by Embiid.
And this quarter, he has clearly been off the mark.
Now the dish to Stauskas. Up again, and Embiid throws it down.
You know, the first shot defense has been pretty good, but they've been getting beat way too often with the second and third chance.
Yeah, great point, Clark. That last line of defense is your ability to secure the backboard.
Now here's Ellis. They set the pick. Pick up by Hill. To the paint. Just 5 on the clock. And the rejection by Noel. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Out to the right wing. Here's Roten. Offensive rebound. Embiid, the pass to Stauskas. Outside Jackson. Another shot, and it's sent back by Hill. Embiid kicks to Stauskas. Three-pointer. No luck. From deep three-point range. And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. 76ers on top. They lead by 12. Live from Philadelphia, you're watching 2K Sports. And talk to Monte Ellis. He says he feeds off his doubters. He loves to hear someone say what he can't do.
I think I had that all my life. I always had to prove somebody wrong, and, you know, still to this day. That's just the competitiveness that I believe my oldest brother built into me when I was little.
And Monte Ellis is still trying to prove people wrong now in Dallas after their quick exit from the playoffs a season ago. Clark, it's been a decade in the league now for this very talented guard.
And, you know, that kind of relentless determination is really something Monte is known for, and one of the reasons he has been around for 10 years in the NBA as a consistently good player and lethal scorer.
Welcome back, everyone, to Lopsided First Quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And a closer look here at the scoring breakdown for the 76ers.
Take note of the work they've done on the offensive glass. Guys, they've got a ton of putbacks.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
The 76ers leading by 12. On the court right now for the Pacers. They've got C.J. Miles. Rodney Stuckey out there with Ellis. Then there's Ian Mahinmi. And it's Hill in at the force line. Thompson dishes to Okafor. That's good. Okafor's got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for the 76ers.
Boy, this defense is getting eaten up on the inside, guys, giving up far too many free runs to the rim.
And they haven't been able to return the favor with their offense in the paint because that has not been up to par.
And for C.J. Miles, he sure can string together a long line of threes under the league with a nice jump shot that has now become deadly.
Yeah, he doesn't get to the free throw line much, but he's not really much of a playmaker, but he's 3D in color. HD 3D.
And so it's Indiana with it. Philadelphia able to drain the three. Stolen by Landry. Thompson right side. Three-pointer. And it's Miles with the rebound. Pacers trail by 17. Outside Hill. Launches it. Okafor grabs the miss. Okafor's got his third rebound tonight. Thompson passes to Cannon. We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. Right side Landry. Plays it up and banks it in. Landry's got his first points of the game.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish. Yeah, too many easy buckets coming from inside, and I think he wants to make that a point of emphasis.
I would certainly think so. I mean, if they keep giving up those kinds of easy looks inside, they'll be in big trouble.
And the Pacers call time here. Well, the plan has been obvious now, Clark, for a while. The 76ers really loading up on young players, letting them see a lot of minutes, and they're hoping it's going to bear some fruit, as you like to say, coming up.
Exactly, and it will in time because they've accumulated some really nice young talent, Kevin.
Second quarter, we're a little over a minute and a half in.
And with the 76ers, it's not just on the floor that they have stifled the progress. That they've taken 2 top picks knowing they would sit out a full year just to rehab injuries.
Indiana again missing.
And with room like that off the pick, you have got to knock that one down.
Well, you know, they did everything right, Greg. They executed. All you want is a good look at the basket. Sometimes the shots just don't fall.
Now here's Ellis.
You know, one thing few people talk about with the Sixers, this plan of building through the draft and with young players, what if it actually works to their benefit? Then it would become a copycat strategy, because we know in the NBA it's a herd mentality if something works.
And Philadelphia decides to take their first timeout right here.
First off, look, every year there are all-star game snubs, and perhaps last year Monte Ellis was the big one in the West. Hard to leave him off given the way he played for the Mavs.
For Monte not being an all-star, there are a lot of guys that could have made an argument to be there. Monte's was as strong as any.
Yeah, and his own coach said that Monte deserved it more than Dirk, his teammate. And not a shot at Dirk by Carlisle, just Rick expressing how valuable Monte was to the Mavs.
Turner's checked in for Mahinmi. Lavoy Allen comes in for Hill. Paul George, he's checked in for C.J. Miles. And it's Hill in for Monte Ellis. Out of bounds, Indiana takes possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
A nice shot by George.
You know, he'll make you scratch your head and throw your hands up as a defender. I mean, you just don't know how to play him.
Kicks to Covington. Launches a 3. Good on the shot. Covington's got 5.
Yeah, and they're starting to warm up from the field this quarter.
Adding to their lead, and you see that field goal percentage for the game steadily heading north.
Now, here's George. He's got 5. In the corner, Stuckey with it. The tray. The shot's good on the assist by George. Stuckey's got 5 points now in the quarter.
Tit for tat right there, huh, guys?
Didn't take them long at all, fellas, to get those 3 points back.
And the Pacers just missed out on the playoffs last year and would have to settle for 9th in the East. Hard for a team that has been so dominant in the East over recent seasons.
Here's Stuckey after Carl Landry's bucket. Stuckey kicks to Allen. Thompson with the rebound.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Here's Covington. The second effort. Landry no good.
That's what we call good defense in the paint, worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
Now, here's George. It's tipped. Okafor with the steal. Cannon dishes to Thompson. Pass to Okafor. Here's Covington, defended by George. Covington kicks to Okafor. Can't get it to go. So the Pacers will take it the other way. Stuckey outside. It's George on the wing. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it. George has got 5 points now in the quarter.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Kept alive. Here's Landry. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. And the 76ers lead by 18.
Continuing to show activity on the offensive glass. Second chance buckets have been huge.
Yeah, they certainly have been. You'd like to knock down that first one, but if you don't, then a second shot is the next best thing.
Now here's Stuckey. He's got 5. Outside, George, 6 to shoot. Looking for Stuckey. He gets it there. The shot's good on the assist by George. That's 7 points for Rodney Stuckey.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
The feed to Thompson. From deep. Pacers with the rebound. There's 38 seconds left here in the second. Pacers trail by 16. And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time. And the 76ers with a completely new group now. The Pacers also changing it up. Ellis comes in for Hill, and it's Hill in for Rodney Stuckey. Jackson kicks to Noel. Turner with the steal. 20 seconds left in the first half. On the wing, Ellis lets it go from deep. Rebound by the 76ers. Noel's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
The shot is off. So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. 76ers lead by 19. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Coach Vogel, a tough going for your guys so far tonight. What's been the biggest obstacle to pulling off your game plan?
Well, they're just a great defensive team. You know, we're not handling our pressure well enough. We're trying to work it inside. They're fronting, and we got to execute our counters.
Thank you for the time, Coach. Guys, over to you.
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaq and Kenny the Jet. Welcome to the halftime show on 2K Sports. Philadelphia finds themselves ahead after 2 quarters. They are dominating the scoring, leading by 19. Kenny, some perspective, please.
They've done a lot of things well, but the way they've taken care of the basketball, valuing each possession so critical to the tempo, so crucial to the offensive flow. They've got a great rhythm, as smart and as safe as they're playing. They made it clear they're not going to beat themselves today.
Shaq, your take on Indiana.
On defense, they've been all over the place, especially when it comes time to protecting the rim. They struggle in a lot of areas, but they got to toughen up inside. It's a tough matchup for them right now, but that interior presence has to improve if they want to chip away at that deficit.
And that's it for halftime, as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game.
It's been a good one for Okafor. He's got 8 points, and he was able to come up with 1 steal, too.
You know what? He's been a difference maker defensively today, Clark. He's disrupted more plays than the stat sheet will show.
The 76ers leading by 19 points. Robert Covington out there with Nerlens Noel. Then it's Hollis Thompson. Then it's Tony Wroten. And it's Okafor in at the 5 down low. That's the group on the floor for Philadelphia.
I tell you what, you got to love his aggressiveness finishing inside like that.
Well, his leaping ability, Clark, gives him a great advantage.
And that's why they look to get him the ball around the rim. It's either a dunk or free throws every time.
Now, here is Hill. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. At the elbow, it's Turner. 5 on the clock. Comes up empty from 19 feet out. The 76ers struggled last year, but it was mostly due to their offensive issues, Greg. At times, they could be okay on defense.
No doubt, Kevin. They've got a good group of rim protectors, and they also knew how to force turnovers, but they have got to improve offensively.
Pacers trail by 21. And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. Outside Hill. Screened by Ellis. Hill with it. Picked up by Thompson. On the wing, George. Let's go. And it's Noel with the rebound. Noel's got his 4th rebound in this one.
Yeah, you know, Philly would finish right in the middle of the pack in terms of defensive rankings. They knew how to make stops, and they've got some good defenders, too, so not surprised they were fairly solid defensively.
And the big thing that stuck out for me for the Sixers, their turnovers forced. I mean, second in the league in steals per game, fourth in the league in blocks.
Well, with Nerlens Noel coming out, we knew he'd be a plus shot blocker. He set the Kentucky single-game record with 12 in a game shot blocks. He also knew he had the chance to be a great rebounder, but we definitely knew he needed help with his shot, and that will continue on into next year.
Yeah, you know, he spent the year rehabbing that knee, but also spent that year correcting his shooting form. And we're not talking about just a tweak when it comes to shooting the basketball.
Ellis can't get it to go.
And out of the gates here in this second half, they have not started well. 0 of 3.
Now here's Rosen, defended by George.
It's hard to believe that he's a point guard. I mean, he can power those dunks down as well as any big man in the league.
If not better. He's a phenomenal finisher.
Enjoy seeing that kind of bounce out of that spot on the floor.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
And, you know, going back to Nerlens Noel's shooting, the improvements to his form look really good. Even better is that he hit 60% from the line as a rookie. That may not sound like a great start, but at this stage of his development, that's great progress.
Change here. Stuckey's checked in. Two minutes gone in this third quarter now.
You know, one caution I have about Noel's improved shooting, you don't want him to fall in love with jumpers. He did shoot only 46% from the field last year. Conversely, DeAndre Jordan shot 71% because he dunked everything and kept his head under the rim. It's a fine line between improving your game and playing within your limitations.
Indiana shooting their initial free throws of the game right here. Everyone understands the importance of Paul George to the ball club. That's why taking his offensive game to the next level would be so beneficial.
Yeah, he has all the physical tools, the instincts, and obviously he has made those strides. But if he wants to become a top 5 guy, he's still got a little bit of work to do in terms of his game.
All of the scoring in tight is coming at that end of the court.
You know, they found the holes in the defense and really doing a great job of exploiting them. And Rodney Stuckey, a combo guard out of Eastern Washington, played a big role for the Pacers a season ago.
You were talking about Stuckey. He did play well in his first year with the Pacers. Clarkie helped them as a starter and off the bench.
Yeah, really had his most efficient year scoring the ball to date. And more than his scoring and what he brought on the court, his presence in the locker room and professionalism. You talk to the people around the Pacers, he was a breath of fresh air on a team that has a number of fresh air guys.
Now here's Roden. Okafor, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. It's going to be on Miles Turner.
And one bright note for the Pacers last season was the play of their bench. Adding Rodney Stuckey was a huge boost for them.
And Stuckey led the charge for the Pacers bench, Greg, as you were talking about. But all around the reserves, Clark, were fantastic on the Pacers.
Yes, third in the league at almost 41 points per game off the bench. First in the NBA in bench rebounding, and top 10 in field goal percentage as a bench.
Now here's Allen. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. And it's Turner off the drive. Rebound by the 76ers. Okafor's got rebound number 5 here tonight.
Ugly start to the second half. They've missed their first 4. They've got to get on track.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Now here is Hill, and it's off from three-point range. And they're pushing it up, and here they go. Here's Roten. Excellent D there from Hill.
Well, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Well, clearly the 76ers were the youngest team in the league last season, and with all the draft picks they've stockpiled, they'll be the youngest team for a while, it seems. But if the youth can grow and develop, they could also be a force in a few years, too.
Catching up on the changes for Philadelphia. Joel Embiid. He's checked in for Okafor. Stauskas comes in for Robert Covington. And it's Jackson in for Isaiah Cannon. Then for the Pacers, Mahinmi's checked in for Turner. Hill comes in for Allen. And it's C.J. Miles in for George Hill. To give you an idea of how young this 76er team is, at one point last season, Greg, Tim Duncan had more seasons played in the NBA than the entire active roster of the 76ers.
That's hard to fathom. I mean, we all know there's this youth movement going on in Philadelphia, but they still need some veterans in that locker room. Very hard for the young players to lead. And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
And he gets it to go.
He's one of the best in the league at that. Even with just a tiny sliver, he always seems to find a way to get it up and in.
1:35 left in the third. For 3, Stauskas. They get the rebound. Here's Roten. Here's Landry. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for the 76ers.
And I like how they've taken the high percentage shot in the paint. In that first half, we saw them doing it, and they've continued to succeed as the game has worn on.
The number of second chance points they've gotten is also impressive. I mean, they've kept so many possessions alive with offensive rebounds.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. Monte Ellis checked in for Hill. And George Hills subbed in for Rodney Stuckey. Now here's Jackson. Roten, the pass to Jackson. Out to the right wing. Roten kicks to Embiid. And that one is stuffed right through.
That's leadership. Really, really valuable to have someone who can just take charge like he has.
Well, there's a certain amount of confidence you have when the ball is in his hands at that end of the floor right now. I mean, he just gives you a sense of calm and confidence because of how good he is.
Miles, that's good.
All right, let's go.
For Philadelphia, they've gone 7 of 11, a lucky field goal percentage here in the third. Pass to Roten. Jackson has the open look. Here's Landry. And the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
Stolen by Landry. Here's Roten. Finished off the break. Roten's got 6 here in this quarter.
And after a scoreless first half, you're starting to see signs of life here in the second.
The drive by Hill. And that one's good.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. Philadelphia ahead, running away with it. And we'll have the start of the 4th quarter for you as soon as we get back from this short break. Welcome back as we get ready to start the 4th quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. The Pacers shooting just 39% from the field, struggling to find that net. And a look at the 5 for the Pacers to start the 4th quarter. They've got Budinger. Hill is out there with Robinson. Then there's Solomon Hill, and it's Whittington in at the 5 spot. Deflects the pass, stolen by Grant. Here's Cannon. Passes it to Sampson. Noel up top. 6 on the shot clock. Fires from 14. Hits the front of the rim and out. And so here is Indiana. Hill drives in. It's taken away by Wallace. And now the 76ers on the break. Wallace with the ball. Good. Wallace has got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for the 76ers.
And those are the kinds of plays that are just killing them right now.
Hill left side. Pulls up. And it's Noel with the rebound. Noel's got 5 rebounds tonight. Here's Cannon. There's a screen by Noel. Sampson dishes to Wallace. And yes, sir, that one drops. Wallace has got 4 points this quarter.
Outstanding entry pass there. He knew exactly where to go with the ball.
We're just over a minute and a half now into the fourth. Al Budinger. Outside Robinson. Expanding his range. Count the bucket.
Hey, kid, you ready? All right.
Here's Cannon. Dishes to Noel. He feeds it to Grant. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. Screen by Grant. Sampson, the pass to Grant. Can't get it to go. So Indiana will take it the other way. Here's Whittington. He dishes it to Budinger. The pass to Whittington. Robinson for 3. Out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession. Allen's checked in for Jordan Hill. '76ers have gone 2 of 4 from the field since we started the final quarter of play. Cannon kicks to Noel. Good.
Another gap in the defense found there, and they've really had their number today.
Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. Budinger, no luck. For Philadelphia, they've gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break.
The defense not putting up any fight on the inside. They've allowed 10 straight points in the paint.
That's not the kind of streak you want to be part of defensively. Tighten it up, fellas.
There's the screen. And once again off the mark by Indiana. For Philadelphia, they've gotten 4 of their 6 shots to fall so far here in the fourth. A pretty nice efficiency there. Pass to Sampson. To the inside. Here's Wallace. And it's out of bounds. The 76ers able to retain possession here. Some changes for Philadelphia. Okafor's checked in, and Stauskas subbed in for Jeremy Grant. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. That's good. And it's 6 points for Wallace.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
I tell you what, it reminds me of one of my college coaches. He used to say, that ain't going to get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now.
The 76ers have gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. Good on the shot.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
The last 5 trips they've had have ended with a great pass leading to a basket. They're really sharing the sugar.
Out to the right wing. Miles, that's for 2. Okafor grabs the miss.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D.
Inside, here's Wallace, and the rejection by Mahinmi. And he's able to get it back. Stauskas' shot is off.
And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
Yeah, heat check or not, I don't care how hot he may or may not be. He's not making that one.
Allen inside the three-point line. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the 76ers.
But, Steve, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out Clark this kind of punishment.
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for Landry. He was everywhere, defensively, offensively. The effort we saw from him tonight, I think, was the difference.
Nick Stauskas had some great moments on the court last season, guys, but perhaps his most memorable contribution was his nickname of Sauce Castillo. Came out of nowhere, but it stuck with him, and he's going with it. I'd love to hear the story behind that.
It's Allen with the drive, laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
And they're clearly finishing strong here, but not enough time to pull it out.
Yeah, it does look like they're going to end on a high note. Too bad this run didn't develop sooner for them.
And you can see where they're coming from by fouling to stop the clock, but really they're just kidding themselves.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this game is over, and they're the only ones who don't realize that.
And he knocks down the first one. Well, the Pacers, despite all their injuries from last season, were right in the playoff hunt until the very end. Had a chance, in fact, GA, on the last day to sneak in, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, they needed a Brooklyn loss to go along with them winning that last game. Ultimately, though, it wasn't in the cards for them, and they ended a game out of the postseason.
Hill dishes to Hill. No good on the three. Well, they're really making a point of keeping the ball moving around.
Yeah, you got to love this teamwork. I mean, everybody's involved and engaged. It's just a thing of beauty to watch.
It is, and Clark, that's the key. The D can't focus on one player, and no matter what anybody tells you, that ball will always move quicker than the defender.
And, the Pacers had made the playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons prior to last year's miss. Hard for a team that was coming off of back-to-back conference finals appearances to stomach that. But with the injuries, they'll be better and back in the playoffs next year, I'm sure.
Hill kicks to Mahinmi. Okafor with the steal. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
Fouling like that isn't how you get back in the game.
Looked to me like just a frustration foul. It really kind of sums up the game they're having in general.
Taking 2 shots.
And that one falls for Cannon. He's off on the second. Jackson against Hill. He kicks it to Whittington. And the Pacers can't get it to go. And they go to the intentional foul.
All right, go. That's his second personal foul. At the line for your 76ers, Isaiah Cannon. Taking 2 shots.
And he makes the first. And so Cannon nails both of them. We've got 13 seconds left in the game. Deep 2 from Hill. Indiana again missing. And so they foul intentionally.
Go. That's his first personal foul. At the line for your 76ers, Isaiah Cannon. Taking 2 shots. Timeout charge to the Pacers.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. They're behind by 43. 1 second left to play in the final quarter. First one falls for him. He hits one and misses one, each at the line. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. It was a tale of two teams tonight, one that was in total control, operating flawlessly, and Clark the other just searching for answers that they could never find.
Well, I think these fans, too, Kevin, gave their team a tremendous lift. I mean, they never gave up on them. From the opening tip until the end of the game, they were in it. And that certainly helped this crew get to the W.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Congratulations on this win, Gerald. And how was this team able to come out and get your presence established?
I think defensively we came out and established ourselves from the get-go defensively. We played aggressive. We took them out of everything they wanted to do, forced some turnovers, and we were able to get out in the open court.
This is a dangerous team in the open floor, Gerald. Thanks for the time. Guys?
All right, Doris, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. For Clark, Greg, and Doris, and the rest of our terrific crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long.
The 2K Sports Postgame Show.
Kevin, thank you. So why don't we take a look now at our Jordan Player of the Game?
He was dead on from the field tonight, guys. I'd call his performance economical because there was no wasted opportunities. He took advantage of every good look he got. I mean, everything he put up was going in.
Just a sensational performance on a lot of levels, Ernie. Too many levels to talk about. Man, in some game, he's in the background. He doesn't get the chance to be the star of the show, but not tonight. He's the star tonight. Put him on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.